Hi and welcome along to the All Guns Blazing podcast, brought to you today by Profit Accumulator. Remember, you can earn yourself a little extra cash each month by joining onto Profit Accumulator. The link is in the description if you want to get involved. And Profit Accumulator have given us a matchup this week. The matchup is Chambers, Bellerin, or Cedric as your right back. Not as clear cut as normal, is it?
No, well,
after Cedric's rubbish the other night.
What I will say is that I think Cedric will be out of the reckoning because he will be used as a left back. Like it or
No, but
not.
I'm using them all as right backs.
No. Well, I know what I would like to do at the moment, which is revert Saka into the left back position because I would just rather that natural balance, and I think it was evident in that game on Thursday that just Cedric not being on his natural side is the reason why he had to turn around and go back, because he didn't want to kick it into Rose there, should we say. But if you had to go with an out-and-out right back, then I'm picking Cedric still.
Cedric. All right, he's picking Cedric. What do you guys reckon? Out of those three, Cedric, Chambers, Bellerin, who do you go for? Who starts? Would like to know in this week's matchup. The question I'm asking today, and I'm going straight to the point on this, right? If Mikel Arteta loses, gets knocked out to Slavia Prague next week, Thursday, and finishes 10th, should he be sacked?
Do you know what? For me, this is a difficult one, and it's... No, because I'm going to try and break it down a bit. And this, we briefly spoke about this after the game on my fan cam, and we actually said, probably the worst thing I said was that we'll discuss it in more detail on one of the podcasts. And
we're here.
Yeah, and you're there like, no,
rubbing my hands.
We'll discuss it on the podcast. But no. You know what it is? I think that it would be very difficult right now to have an argument to not get rid of Mikel Arteta if that happens. I don't think we would have a leg to stand on. Anybody that does back him, even myself, I don't know what justification that I could give to warrant another season. If you finish below the eight, let's say finish below the 8th position that we finished last season, we give him that because he joined halfway through. So it's not his fault that campaign materialized in the way that it did. But this is, a full campaign. It's been his, he's overseen it all. So if we finish below 8th, get knocked out against Slavia Prague, I'm really struggling to find any reasoning why he should be staying on. And that's the logical...
The process, isn't it, is what you've been saying.
Yeah, and it's the logical, conclusion that you
said we're going to have to go down before we go back up.
I understand that.
So that would be going down.
Yes, it would be going down, but there becomes a point where you say, are we going down too much? We understand we've got to go down. Like in my interviews, I said down to the top 8. We're going to be a top 8 team. But if we go below 8th and we're 10th, 11th or whatever it might be, and then we're losing against teams, I'm not going to be disrespectful here, but we should not be losing and being eliminated by Slavia Prague.
When we played Slavia Prague back in the day, we beat them 7-0.
Yeah, but we also had an unbelievable set of players.
Right? And, really and truly, that game the other night, had the chances have been taken,
it would have been 4 or 5.
That would have been, chances taken on both sides, probably looking at like a 4-2, 4-1, right? Now, is it Arteta's fault that players are not taking their chances? Is it Arteta's fault that Lacazette clean through one-on-one? Or is it his fault because he decided to pick him?
You can say that, but then when you look at everybody's matchup before the game, you all had Lacazette in the team.
Yeah, but he ain't the manager. I'm not the manager.
No, I know that. But what I'm saying is that when you look at the form of late of Lacazette or Aubameyang, then you're looking at it and saying, well, look at the way Aubameyang's playing. Look at the issues that are going on. So you go with Lacazette. And then, come on, man, you can't... Only Lacazette's to blame for that miss. I still don't get why he slowed down. The more I watch it, the more it looked like he was just slowing himself down. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I don't get that process. Was he trying to slow himself down to compose himself?
It's a lack of confidence, isn't it? It's like when you're a top striker that's on form, you don't slow down. You know what you're going to do even before you get there. Boom, goal.
It's like you're thinking too much.
Yeah, you're even like, right, it's going in that corner. You know what I mean? But he's trying to steady himself, settling himself. He's trying too hard to make sure that he scores. Whereas a top striker, it's just like one on one. Yeah, here you go, goal. Even before he scored it, it's like, yeah, I'm scoring.
The thing is, when he went through, hand on heart, how confident were you that was going in?
50-50.
I was less than 50.
50-50, and you can't be 50-50 if you're a top striker. You know what I mean? I should be thinking to myself, goal.
This is the problem, Robbie, is that in terms of his work rate and some of the stuff that Lacazette does, can't question it.
Well, it was his work rate that won the ball to set up the whole thing.
But how many times this season alone, we won't even go into other seasons, but this season alone, has Lacazette had huge chances. Liverpool away right at the start of the season, 2-1 down, goes through one-on-one, misses. Was it the one game at home we drew 0-0 and the ball came across and he had the header from inside the 6-yard box and it went over? I'm just thinking all these chances that Lacazette's had, and they've cost us. If we go out against Slavia Prague, Robbie, man, that's inexcusable because they're a poor team. I'm sorry, but they are.
So are we.
Yeah, no, we are, but we're still better than them because look how many chances we had. But what I'm saying is, look how many. As soon as
they stepped it up and got a bit brave in the game, they had all kind of problems. They should have scored early as well.
Yeah, that was the one big chance.
Yeah, and again, our defending.
Cedric
that's
was
the next thing. The defending, shocking.
It was dreadful. Look,
not just the back four, the midfield. I mean, Thomas Partey was awful the other night, but just the way we seem to give the ball away, the playing out from the back, which sometimes it works and it looks great. At the moment, that seems to be causing us all kinds of problems, and that all comes from the manager.
Yeah,
he's telling them repeatedly, play out from the back.
They are also playing out a lot longer as well now. I've noticed they have started to mix it up in that respect, and there's something fundamentally wrong with this team and this set of players, and not all the players. Don't get me wrong, but there's just certain.
Is there too many instructions from Mikel Arteta? I was speaking to a journalist the other day. He said that when you're at games, he goes, Arteta's just constantly giving instructions. You go there, you back off here, drop there. He's like, he feels there's a bit too many instructions.
Do you know what?
Is it, we know that Wenger famously just used to say to the players, go out there and express yourself.
Yeah, but
is it now that we've gone from having a manager who said, go out there and express yourself, to now having another manager now that's like, it's too many instructions.
What?
You know what I mean? Let the players do their own thing sometimes.
I get what you're saying, but on the flip side to this is that Arsene Wenger was able to say that to the players because he had Thierry Henry and Patrick Vieira and Robert Pires and Sol Campbell and
but he moulded those players.
but he had Sol Campbell was already established.
Our
back four was already established when he came. Thierry Henry, granted. Patrick Vieira. Pires was still a World Cup winner, international footballer when he joined, and known. So the ones that you can take into account are Patrick Vieira. Like even Thierry Henry when he came, he wasn't a novice. He wasn't somebody who did, but he did mould him back into a striker from a winger. So you will say Thierry, you will say Patrick Vieira because he come from Milan as a nobody. But other players, they were established players. The back four was a massive help to have because you had leaders. But then when you look at this, maybe Mikel's giving out so many instructions because the players ain't capable of going out there and doing the job without instructions because they're that poor. And the one thing that I said to you, the only possible argument, I don't even know if it's an argument, but the only possible, part that you could have to say he should continue is if we had this, crystal ball that said, right, forget about where you finished, knocked out or anything. before you go into next season, Mikel Arteta is going to get the full backing of Kroenke. That sounds laughable on its own. But he's going to get the full backing. Players that need shifting are going to be shifted. And you've kind of got an open checkbook. Go and get all of the players that you need. No half-heartedness, because how many years have we always needed 3 players but we buy 2? Needed 4 but we buy 3. There's always one position missing it. Even at the start of this season, Robbie, the plan was outlined very clearly. Defender, centre midfielder, attacking midfielder. We've got a defender, the midfielder, no attacking midfielder. So there was always one short. So let's say we were able to get all of these things. Then on that basis, you could argue Mikel should be allowed to now go with with that team, fans back in the stadium.
Would you trust him?
Given what's happening this season, you're struggling to.
So then, why would you then? If you're the owner and you're like, right, I'm looking to make a mega investment, would you trust him with that mega investment? Would you trust him to get the best out of those players? Because he hasn't got the best out of Thomas Partey this season, has he? I know he's had injuries, but he's not got the best out of Partey. He's not getting the best out of Pepe. That's £75 million player. He's not getting the best out of him. He's not getting the best out of Aubameyang. Who's like a top striker, £60 million player. He's
Robbie? This is where I'm trying to question as to what is going on, because when you mention those players, right? Thomas Partey, obviously he came this season and everything else, but when you look at Pepe, Mikel did get the best out of him at the end of last season. Pepe was playing
for a couple of games, a few games.
No, it wasn't a couple of games, Robbie. He was playing exceptionally well.
For a few games.
To the point where we were all so excited about this season.
Yeah, we were saying next season we're going to see the best of him.
So he's
hardly played him.
Right, so there's that. Aubameyang was absolutely fine last season under him, right? Scoring the goals, crucial goals, semi-final, final, all the rest of it. What has happened to him? Dani Ceballos under Mikel Arteta last season, excellent. And in that final run-in and everything else, to the point where we were all like, have to get him back on loan. Have to. What's now happened to him? You look at the emergence of Saka this season. You're going to have to give him some credit for that, because he's came on. Smith Rowe, the way he's developed this season as well. Give him credit for that. He signed Gabriel. Did sign Thomas, and I think Thomas Partey will be something that's next season. I think we know what he's about.
We heard that last season about Pepe.
But Thomas Partey has produced it on the biggest stage. Whereas Pepe, there would have still been some question marks.
A lot of serious questions now
Robbie, I'm not denying it.
Because, right, I'm saying, these are some big... You're talking about giving him a load of money, right? These are some big players that he's got that do cost a lot of money. And they're going backwards. He's not getting the best out of them. He's not getting the best out of these players. He doesn't seem to know what his best 11 is. He changes it a lot. He's not getting the best out of those senior players. That's down to him. Martinelli. Right now, can you please, I know you're not the spokesperson for Mikel Arteta. But
everyone thinks I'm his lawyer.
Right? But I'm just saying, right? Why doesn't he play? What's wrong? What's he done? Is he done something to Arteta?
I have no argument as to, I've got no defense as to why he didn't start on Thursday ahead of Willian. I can't. That for me is where I can't. I sit there and I'm just as baffled as everybody.
He's put lots of faith in Willian this season, despite Willian.
And he's let him down. And he's let him down. And he's let him down. And this is the issue.
He's let him down. He's still playing.
Yeah, you putting too much faith in these people. The thing is when I think it was after we had that run in November, December, and then we got to the Chelsea game, and then things just got freshened up. Whether it was because I think Willian was actually out at the time, he had an injury or something, and a few things were forced. I'm looking at our league campaign at the moment, right? And I'm looking at the fact that we've got Sheffield United coming up, we've got Fulham coming up, either side of the return leg against Slavia Prague. Robbie, would you be against ripping this team apart for that game and just going with something completely different? I wouldn't. I genuinely wouldn't.
We'll discuss that later. Well, I'm going to ask you for your team to play Sheffield United later on, but
I think we've got nothing to lose.
Yeah, but who's he going to rest though?
It's not about resting.
Well, who's he going to not play?
Well,
I don't know, man. He doesn't. You know what I mean? I'm really having some serious. Listen,
even I'm having doubts, Robbie. You've got
to have serious doubts because you're looking at it, right, and you're like, how can so many top players be off form, right? When's he going to show a bit of faith in, say, Pepe? Pepe all season is like, you're in 1 week,
you're
drop
out
for the next 2, then you're back, then you're back. So he must be thinking, boy, you know what? What's the point, man? You know what I mean? Even when I put in a good performance, then I'm dropped the next game. Martinelli is be sitting there thinking, yeah, when am I going to get a chance in this team, man? You know what I mean? I was playing a lot. I was doing well. You know what I mean? All right, I know I've had an injury, but you know, I'm over that injury now. I want to play. Give me some game time. He doesn't want to play him, right? You know, he persists with certain players. Bellerin this season that we know he hasn't been great. He persists with him.
Don't give me so. I genuinely think there's something in his contract where he has to play.
Willian, he persists with Willian.
He's another. I reckon there must be something in their contracts where they have to play. Like it's got to be something because I don't get it. Robbie, I'm sorry, but when I watch some of these players play, I watch them and I just sit there and think, am I the only person that can see? And I know I'm not because you only have to read the comments and see what people say. I genuinely don't understand how these people are footballers. Like, let alone like for Arsenal, they're not good enough. It's not good enough.
What I was saying is defence, right? You know, I've just given you some examples of some players that we spent a lot of money on that he's not getting the best out of. I then also feel that at Arsenal Football Club, and I've been saying this for a long time, there's a lot of very average players there that get a lot of top ratings because they're at Arsenal. Hector Bellerin gets ratings because he's at Arsenal. If Hector Bellerin was at Brighton, would we look twice? Would we... It'd be just like we'd be talking about a Trossard or somebody like that. Right?
If Bellerin wouldn't even get into Brighton's team, and that's not because of
If El Neni was at Brighton, we wouldn't bat an eyelid. He would just be like, oh yeah, I've heard of him. Yeah. If Cedric was at Brighton, we probably wouldn't bat an eyelid at that as well. We'd be like, yeah, that's kind of...
Well, we did bat an eyelid with him being at Southampton.
Yeah, that was a couple of years ago. But I'm saying when we brought him in, Willian, yes, a once top player... But you're looking at it now and saying, yeah, come on, man. If he'd have left from Chelsea and gone to, I keep using Brighton as an example, but he went to a Brighton, you'd be like, yeah, place for him to go after his career. Yeah. You know, who else? There's many. Xhaka. If Xhaka was playing for one of those teams, you'd be like, oh, he's decent player. Xhaka, I've seen a few little good games. You know, I mean, he's quite solid, right? Rob Holding. If he was at Brighton, you'd be like, oh, yeah, he's not bad. Not as good as Dunk, but he's all right.
Mate, the thing is, when you reel off all the names, you just realise how...
So then you start to look at that. And then you can even start to look at maybe even Lacazette might be falling into that category now. You know, you look at him and say, yeah, he's good. He's all right. Yeah. But none of those players there would get anywhere near City, Liverpool, Chelsea.
No.
Wouldn't get... So this is what I'm saying. So in his defence, there's a lot of very average players in that team. But what it is, they get talked up. We're guilty of it a lot of times. And it's that natural thing that happens that when you're at a big club, you're considered better. You know what I mean? Your ratings are high.
Yeah.
But the reality of it is like for somebody like a Hector Bellerin, he's okay. He's not crap. We might sit here sometimes like, he's not. Right?
Tell me what he offers.
No, he's not crap.
No, but tell me what he offers.
Hold on, I'm going to explain to you with Hector Bellerin. He's not crap, but he's just average.
Mate,
he's okay. You know what I mean?
Sorry, but he's below average. He's below average. For me,
he
is one of the worst footballers I've ever seen in my life.
If he was playing for another team and we were emotionally invested in him, we'd look on him and we'd say, he's average or he's all right. He's okay. But that's it. Now, why have we got so many okay type players in our team? And that is one of the reasons why, one of the things I do defend him on, right? And these guys, they've been here for a while. Oh, not Cedric, but some of the other guys, Holding, Bellerin, Xhaka, El Neni, they've all been here for a long time and they have done nothing in the period of what they've here. They've had, if they turn around to any of those guys in the summer and they say, sorry, man, we're moving you on. None of them can complain because they've been here for a long time and ain't done nothing. Right? So that's one big issue that he has, and those are the type of players that he does need to clear these players out, and he does need to get rid of these players. But then on the other hand, what I then look at is I say to myself, you do also have some top players in there where you should not be 10th and you should not be struggling against Slavia Prague. And it's his decision. He picked that team on Thursday. All right. I wasn't against Lacazette starting because Aubameyang's not been playing well. But then it's still his decision. It's not mine. It's his decision to take out your main man. And we had loads of chances. And I'm not sure if all those chances would have fallen to him if he would have missed those.
Not
it's
the
his
Lacazette
decision.
one.
It's
Not
his
the Lacazette
decision.
One. No way. But it's
now,
just...
listen, he's under serious pressure now. I mean, he can reverse that by going there next week. A good team goes to Slavia Prague next week and wins because you say to yourself, right, you know what? It's 1-1. First of all, what we've got to do is go there. We've got to cancel out their away goal. And the way we saw their defence, press up on that, be brave, press that, we'll get opportunities, we'll get goals. Cancel that out, then the next goal we score, after that counts double. We go for the next one. Now we're in the driving seat. You know, sometimes a 1-1 looks terrible on paper, especially the way in which they got that goal, because they shouldn't have got that goal. Should have been 1-0, should have been looking pretty, right? But it's 1-1. But when you sit down after a couple of days, the task is this. Go there and cancel that goal. I can see Arsenal scoring in that game, right? I can see them scoring. They've got the firepower to score, right? Cancel that goal out, then the pressure all goes back on Slavia Prague
I'll get that.
because they know that if you score again, they got to get 2. It doubles up every time. So that's the task. And we do have the players to score goals. But Mikel Arteta is going to have to be brave. He's going to have to instill an intensity into that team. Where's that gone? Look at Liverpool the other day.
There's no intensity.
And then coming back out into the game against Slavia Prague, there was still no intensity.
No,
and I know there's no fans there. That's 2 home games.
It's been longer than that.
Against West Ham, no intensity.
Well, for the first 30 minutes, and then it was.
Yeah,
like,
but that's.
But after, I get that. But I'm just saying. But then even before that, the second leg against Olympiacos at home, no intensity. And this is why I look at that second leg and next week's one is the fact that I think to myself, maybe the scoreline is actually better for us in a weird way because we know what we got to go and do. Whereas if we would have took a 2-0 lead or something like that, I'd have probably been more worried because we get caught in that mind of take the result, sit back, kind of invite pressure and then kind of get caught. Like the second leg against Olympiacos, it was already done. Everyone was like, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's all right. Got 3 away goals. No issues, blah, blah, blah. We were dreadful. And then when they got that 1 goal, we all sat there and we went, oh, Jesus Christ. And there was a 5-10 minute spell after that where we're, oh, my God. Like, that is that side of it. I just think maybe the 1-1 might be a better thing. And going away second might be a better thing.
What's he doing that you can't get this team intense? The last time I saw the team up for a game from the start was when we played Tottenham.
Yeah.
Right from the start of the game, they were up for it. They were brilliant that day. Where's that gone? Where's the intensity gone?
I don't know. I don't get it.
But this is the manager, and this is what I'm saying. He is a lot of fault. I mean, he storms off a lot of times down the tunnel. He's angry. It's unacceptable. I don't want to see that no more. What I want to see is something done about it on the pitch, so that when you're angry that there was no intensity against Liverpool, the next game they come out and they're intense.
Yeah, that's what I actually thought would happen in this game.
I've seen more training videos.
I thought it would. Yeah, the training videos do my nutting. All you constantly see is like, oh yeah, look, I put it in the top bin. Show me when you put it in the top bins in a game, because that's all I care about. And I said to you, let's go and do a video, Robbie. Yeah, let's go and do a video of me. Right, I swear, me and you will go somewhere to a park with a goal and we'll have 20 shots each. And I guarantee we at least put 1 in the top bins. And we'll only release that 1.
It's true.
Do you know what I mean, though? And that's the thing. I don't want to see that. Do it in a game. Then you can replay it over and over and over and over and over. Yeah, great. You done it in a game. All right. Want us to get amazing. What does it win you in training? Nothing. So I'm bored of it, and I do understand that football is social media based now. Look at us and everything else. But when we're doing and going through the situation that we're going through, fans are bored of seeing it. They don't want to see it anymore. They don't care.
Is Mikel Arteta lucky that there's no fans this season?
Yeah, he is, to be fair. He is. And there's two sides to the argument. There's certain results this season at home where you say, if fans were in the stadium, they would have ripped him a new one. But then on the same side, I'd say there's some games this season where we could have done with the fans and we would have probably not ended up with the result that we did. I look at Burnley, for example, when it was 0-0, before Xhaka got sent off. And I look at that even with the sending off, I think the fans could act as a 12th man to push the players over the line. Even the season before last, when we played Aston Villa at home, and I think it was Maitland-Niles that got sent off. And we were 2-1 down at a point. And if you remember that day, the fans were just pushing and pushing and pushing the players. And then we got the equaliser, and then Aubameyang scored the winning free kick. And those fans can act as that player you've just lost. So there are times this season where I look and go, maybe that result wouldn't have happened with us in the stadium. But then there's games like Liverpool, games like Aston Villa. Fans would have been booing. Fans would have been fuming with that performance. And I would have been one of the ones fuming. I'd have been booing. I'd have been like, you think I'm coming here on Saturday, Sunday afternoon or whatever it is, spending my time here away from my family to watch this? Are you mad? Of course we'd be booing about that. But so that's where I say that there's a balance. There are games where there's no excuse.
I'm getting very concerned because the thing is about it is that we've been watching this all season. It's been terrible. The amount of games we've lost, the amount of stupid goals we've conceded. We've been watching it all season long. And every time you think it's improved a bit, then we go back to it again. Right? Now, the challenge for Mikel Arteta is this. You've got to finish the season strongly. That means to me, how I think he keeps his job. If it was me, if I was in charge, this would be how he'd keep his job. As I said, he either got to get in the top 6, which, let's be real, that's looking so unlikely right now. I don't think that will happen, right? Or you've got to get to at least the final of the Europa League. At least the final. Yeah? If he got to the final, then if I was in charge, I'd be like, all right, I'm going to give you next season, but you're under, what do they say when when you get a job, when you're under probation.
Probationary period.
So this is like it can't even be probation because he would have been there then for a year and a half. So I'll be looking at it and saying, you're under review. You've got, show me something from now till Christmas or we change it. That's if he got to the final. If he won the final and won a European trophy and got the team back into the Champions League, then you're like, all right, you've got next season. But if you get knocked out by Slavia Prague and finish outside the top 6, this is Arsenal now. I'm starting to look on it. I drove home the other night, and as I'm driving home, I'm like, look what we've sunk to. We used to be in the Champions League every single year, right? Now we're in the Europa League, and we're not even turning over these sort of teams in this. We've got all these, as I said, these average players that get spoken about like there's something special when they ain't. Let's be real now, Arsenal fans. There's a lot of them throughout the team. Yeah? There's a lot of them throughout this team that get spoken very highly. Yeah. And so I put it into 2 categories. I put this like potential players that could be good, that could be top players. So when I look on that, I'd say, right, I think Aubameyang's a top player. He's having a terrible season. But he's a top player. He can come back, right? I think Lacazette is a good player, right? I don't think he's average. I think he's better than average, right? But he's having an average season, right? I think Pepe, did I say Pepe already? I think Pepe is a player that could be one of these, he could be a top player, but one of them infuriating top players that's, does have a spell where he's hot and cold, but he's got talent to do a lot of things in a game. I think Saka, lots of potential, going to be a top player. Smith Rowe, going to be a top player. Odegaard, I think, going to be a top player. Partey, I think, injury affected. I think he'll come good next season, right, I think he can be a top player. But apart from that, Martinelli, sorry, I missed as well. Martinelli, I think as well, right? Rate Martinelli can be, can be a very, very top player. Oh, can be a top player, Martinelli, right? But then when I look at the rest of the team, no, I'll take Gabriel as well. I think he's raw, but can be a top player. But when I look at the rest of the team, I see a lot of average players, man, right throughout that team. Average players that get spoken about, as I said. Like there's something special when they ain't, right?
No, loads of them ain't. They ain't. And look, and this is what I've tried. I've seen this argument so many times. It bores the life out of me now. The whole comparisons.
No, but it's not just about bored, right?
No. I'm saying the comparisons of Wenger and Emery and Arteta and everything else. And people need to just understand, all right? This ain't a comparison between who was better or this, that, the other. They are all culpable for the demise of Arsenal right now. Everything. This is not 1 or 2 years of this.
No, you're right.
It's decades. Because when you're reeling off some of those names that you've mentioned, right? And we can do it for each of the managers. But when you reel off El Neni, Bellerin, Xhaka, all these type of players, right? They've all come from Arsene Wenger's reign. Okay?
And done nothing since
they've been nothing since. Then you can go to... And you got to remember, we've just had to shift Ozil, Mustafi, all those players, all from the Arsene Wenger reign. Now, it's very well known that at the time we signed Granit Xhaka, we chose him over N'Golo Kante, right? And he cost £30 million. We all know that we chose Mustafi based on stat DNA and all that kind of stuff that Ivan Gazidis had at that time over Virgil van Dijk, right? So, I know it sounds hilarious, doesn't it? But you get what I'm saying? So, there is a core of problems right there. Then you can go into Unai Emery's reign, right? And then you look at, he lost the dressing room. That was so evident that he lost the dressing room by the end of it. And then you look at the players that he's brought in. Most of those have been shifted out already. Guendouzi with his attitude problem. Torreira, that never worked out at all, did it? He brought in Leno. And there's question marks over Leno now and his performances.
Another guy's been very average this season.
When you look at that and you say, yeah, okay, and each manager will obviously have their success story. There will be a player, you've got to accredit Arsene Wenger for Aubameyang because he brought him in his reign, should we say. Has Lacazette really worked out for the money that was paid?
Nope.
No. So you look at that. You look at Unai Emery. It was him that brought Tierney in, wasn't it? Yeah. So you look at Tierney. The only thing that concerns me are these injuries. You could take away Kieran Tierney's injuries. You've got Arsenal's captain right there. So there. And then you can go to Mikel Arteta and you can think of the likes of Gabriel that's brought in, the way that the likes of Saka are now playing and Smith Rowe. And so everyone will have their success and their bad points. But this has gone on for over a decade. So they're all a part of it. Arsene Wenger left at the perfect time when the demise was just starting. Because at the end of Arsene Wenger's reign, we started to go from that Champions League team to the Europa League. And then he was gone. It had already started. The rot had already set in. You can go to multiple videos from multiple fans, from me to Claude to Troops to whoever, that were all speaking and saying that this was going to happen, that we were going to go down and down and down. Now, I think we're going further down than even I expected, and that's not acceptable.
10th.
Yeah, it's not It's not acceptable in any way, shape, or form. Robbie, you know me long enough now. You know that I don't accept.
And I look on the owners of this football club, right? And as well, I just think to myself, we're going nowhere with these guys. Let's be real. They've been in charge now for about 15 years.
Where have we ever gone?
Since we moved into the stadium, they've been in charge, innit?
Yeah.
Because let's be real, even though he only got the full control of it about a year or so ago, 2 years ago,
yeah,
he's been the majority. He's been the majority shareholder, so that still means you're in charge. You're the guy who makes the decisions. You're the guy who hires and fires. You're the guy who signs off the check on these players that are signed. You're the guy who appoints these guys who sign the players. It's all down to you. Yeah. When it goes wrong on AFTV, right? my phone rings, not anybody else's, right? It's down to you, the person who's got to answer to it. I'm looking at these guys and I'm saying, if in 15 years, all you've done is make us decline, what gives me faith that in the next 5 years, anything else is going to change?
There isn't.
Unless we get a huge slice of luck. And as I said, I was driving home the other night and I'm like, I want to be back in the Champions League. I want to be going toe-to-toe with Man City. I want to be going toe-to-toe with Manchester United. I want to be going toe-to-toe with we'll eke out wins against a United. Yeah? Mm. But let's be real. They've got better players than us. Mm. They've got the potential to go out there and buy bigger players. Their whole thing is they want to win the league. So they'll throw money at it. Our guy, he does not do that. He does not come out and say nothing.
Nothing.
It's been well documented over the years, but I've kind of had enough of them now. Something has to give. If I also feel that if this season ends up as it is, with 10th and out of the Europa League, and remember, we can still turn it around, especially in the Europa League, not necessarily in the league. But if that's how it ends up, I think it's time for them to go as well.
Listen, we've said it
how much longer?
Robbie, we've said it for a long time. We spoke about
it so many times. Sell it.
Because the issue is that we're always, and we said this, one player short. There's always something missing. There's just never.
No, but now we're not one player short. We're about 5 players short.
A million miles away, man.
To me, with these guys, give it up. It's a pandemic. Times must be, concentrate on your teams in America. Give up Arsenal. Give it into the hands of somebody who's, even if you sell, you want to keep a little stake, sell the majority to somebody else who really wants to make this club back to where, because what I don't understand as well, the way we're going down is having the effect we're not even feeling right now. What's going to be the effect in the next 10 years is going to be a lot of younger fans not supporting Arsenal.
Yeah,
because you know what it's like. In generations, they want to see their team doing well. They want to see excitement. That's how you gain fans, right? That's how you gain fans. I remember, I was looking back at it the other day. I remember when I was a little bit younger. Remember that period when Newcastle, when they had Kevin Keegan and Philip Albert and Aspina.
Asprilla and all that.
Sorry, Asprilla.
Did you say Aspina?
Aspina, I said. Asprilla.
Yeah. Ginola.
They were exciting. Remember, it were almost like your second team in a way. It's like you kind of looked at them and thought, I like how they play, man. Yeah. I like how they play. You know what I mean? If I'm not watching Arsenal and they're playing, I'll watch them because. And what happened? They didn't follow that up. Mike Ashley comes in, sits there, not spending no money, not doing nothing, and they've just gone from being an exciting team that fans were even starting to support. Get behind them and support them. Apart from the, your usual Geordies up there, people from outside and from around the world decided to say, I like it. They're exciting.
Now look at it.
Now, nothing.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
They're only just got their core support up there in the northeast, but that's it.
Yeah.
That could happen to Arsenal if we don't get our act together. There's fans growing up in London supporting Chelsea because they see a young kid, he's seeing ambition in Chelsea. He's seeing something about Chelsea. He's seeing exciting signings. They're seeing them being in the Champions League and that, right? There's fans even starting to support Tottenham. We got to be real about this. Young fans, I've noticed it when I'm out with my son sometimes. I notice more and more Tottenham shirts. Yeah? Now, Arsenal's still got a great support and still lots and lots of youngsters support them. But if we don't start getting and this is where the owners come in, they start injecting a bit of excitement into this squad and really showing a lot of ambition, those kids are going to switch off, man. They're going to be like, man.
You can lose generations.
I ain't supporting Arsenal,
See, the thing is, I come from a background where Arsenal's in your blood and it's just run through the family. Like, I actually feel like I'm going to get a knock on my door one day from child services because of cruelty to my kids by making them support Arsenal.
Same here.
Like, do you know what I mean? But it's like, I get it because, where I've got a 5-year-old boy and a 10-year-old, like in that school environment, the 5-year-old not so much because they're still at that age where they no real understand. But my 10-year-old, it's like, I think it was a couple of weeks ago. There was Red Nose Day, and it's like non-school uniform day, so they can wear anything red, basically. So I'm like, do you want to wear your red Arsenal shirt? Nah, I'm not wearing that. I'm like, what do you mean? Do you know how much that cost me? And I want to wear that. I'm
Embarrassment.
Yeah, it is. And it is embarrassment because it's all like...
And how can, that's what I'm saying. How can this great club go to that? And that's what I'm saying. The Cronkies are culpable, right? And now, I think if it ends up like this, man, something's got to be done. We can't just keep... we're just this mediocre.
It is.
And we're accepting
it. It's boring. I thought the Nigerian... businessman was going to be taken over in 2021.
Well, he's talked a good one, but at the end of the day, if they don't want to sell nothing, it ain't going nowhere. Yeah. And I'll be honest with you,
but he said that he's going to make it. Listen, we need to get hold of Kelechi.
He's going to make
get Kelechi to have a word with him.
At the end of the day, the thing is with the Cronkies is that there's been people richer than that done got
yeah, I know.
looking to make them offers, and they're not interested.
That's his name.
They've not been interested, right? Because I don't know what their plan is. Why they're just holding on to Arsenal for, if your plan is not to restore the club back to its greatness. You inherited a great football club that won titles and everything. You've got a new stadium, right? You're not in, all right, the debt has accumulated recently because of the pandemic, but that's the same for every team, right? What's your ambition? What's your ambition?
Do you know what? The thing is, Arsenal's whole model was built around this whole financial fair play.
Tear up that.
We were gonna no. Listen to what I'm saying. We was built on that to be able to be this sustainable model that could do something that others couldn't. But now we've already heard that the financial fair play is going to go out the window.
Plus, as well, it ain't worked. This is the thing that angers me. I'm not having a go at you. I'm just saying my frustration is.
I know your frustration.
It ain't worked, right? When you're doing something, right? When these guys are business guys. When you're doing a business and something ain't working, you sit down, you come up with a new plan, an alternative plan. They ain't. All they've done is they've changed the manager, like you said. You spoke about Wenger, you spoke about Unai Emery, you spoke about Arteta. They've changed managers, but the plan ain't changed.
No.
The plan ain't changed.
And the level of player hasn't changed.
Yeah. If your plan is to win the league, a lot of those players that we've named out there would not be in the team. You wouldn't be signing. You can't be saying you're looking to win the league and you're signing Willian when you've got like Man City, right, who are looking to win the league and are getting rid of Aguero, who's better than Willian, who could still do a job, but they're still saying, nah, you know what, bro, you was brilliant here, but
time to go.
We're looking to step it up again now. You've done your shift. See you later. That's ambition. That's a team that wants to win major things and continue to win major things. Team like us with the signings that we've made, that's a team that's just treading water.
I get it.
And
I can't say no more than that, right? We've already said I'm just so bored. I'm bored. I'm bored of the season. I'm bored of the football. I'm bored of Arsenal as a club and just the way that everything's going.
How terrible is that? When we never used to be bored in April. We used to be excited because we're like, yo, remember we be like 6 weeks to go, man. Till the end of the season, we're getting our phone out. We're looking at it, we're thinking, boy, if they go away to such and such and they lose and we beat blah, 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 we'll go 2 points in front of them, and now we're like, we're bored.
Well, let's be honest. When we was
where we going on holiday?
Let's be honest. We weren't looking on our phones back then because it was that long ago. All we had was Nokia pager. You remember with the snake game? Yeah, we had a pager. Do you remember that? Your little pager beeps and that. You always had a pager in your belt here, and you thought you was like the original Don. Like, I got a page. So you'd have your top half up so everyone can see the pager.
See your pager and it would bleep.
And be like, what? Remember like you was a doctor.
Remember when I used to get my pager out, right? I used to beep, I used to go like this. Remember there used to be a stance. There used to be a stance on it, innit? You take it out so that that's the one.
Look at it. Like, let everyone see. Like, hold on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a call.
Just but
911.
Yeah, but the thing is, you got to make a call, but then you'd have to go to a pay box because you didn't have a mobile.
Yeah.
Then it was. Then the only mobiles that first come out were like they
bricks.
used to have the bricks that had the battery packs on them that usually looked like a Ghostbuster. And then when the Nokias first come out, I think it was the 8210s or something, where they had the snake game on it. And it was like battery life was the best, man. That would last for like 2 weeks, man.
Yeah,
but,
that's because the battery's the size of a car, man.
mate, yeah, exactly. And it was, I remember when the first flip phones come out, I remember I had a StarTAC.
I had a StarTAC.
You remember that?
Yeah.
And then like you used to wait for it to, and then you'd be like,
click out that.
you'd always like find a way of flicking it open, or you try that one, little flick, and we said, look, oh mate, that's like, how, Robbie, that's how bad it is.
Terrible.
That we're now sitting there and talking about what was around in the days when we was, all right, we're not going to ever be as bad as Tottenham. You know, when they last won the league, there weren't phones.
But if we don't hurry up, we're going to be, yeah.
You know what I mean? Nah, man.
That's been the most exciting part, talking about, reminiscing about
Pages.
pages of brick phones. Right, you know what I want to do, right? I want to select 2 teams before we go today, yeah? I want to select a team for Sunday against Sheffield United. As far as I'm concerned, a dead game. And they're a dead team, and we've been a dead team, but surely we got enough to beat them even with reserves. But with this team, you don't know. Let's have your team to play Sheffield United on Sunday.
Okay, I will have Matt Ryan in goal.
Right.
I'd make a change there, give him some minutes.
Right back.
I'd play Cedric. I would then have Mari and Gabriel at centre back. I would then have...
Hold on. Mari and Gabriel. Oh, yeah, Mari and Gabriel.
Mari and Gabriel.
2 left footers.
Don't care.
Try it.
Might as well, because what's the worst
Try it
that
and
can
see how
happen?
it goes, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Remember the Dr. Pepper adverts? What's the worst that can happen? It's the same, innit?
Left back.
Saka. Centre midfield, I would have Partey and Xhaka. I would have the experience, and those 2 there, I'm giving them any rest anyway. So those 2 would go there.
Where's Xhaka gone in my lineup? Oh, there he is.
Attacking 3, I would have Pepe.
Yep.
Smith Rowe in a 10.
How long is Odegaard going to be out for, by the way?
I don't actually know.
Right, Smith Rowe and...
Because we've had to move Saka to left back and personnel available, I would go with Aubameyang.
Right.
And then up front, I'd have Martinelli.
Okay.
Like him or Aubameyang could alternate. Though.
I'd have
could alternate him or Aubameyang.
Yeah,
but I would like to see
I
Martinelli.
don't mind
as a
that team. I
focal
think I'll be
striker.
keeping Saka out of that for Thursday, because I think he's an important player, man. And we can't afford, even though he didn't have a great game.
My mindset though is that if you play Cedric at that side, the unbalanced, and then do you have to play Hector at right unless you play Chambers? I just think that would offer a bit, because I've gone for 2 left-footed centre backs. I want a naturally left-sided left back and a naturally right-sided right back. So there's the balance.
Yeah, I'd play Martinelli on the left and Aubameyang up front.
Yeah, that's the only thing that you could switch around.
Try and get Aubameyang into some scoring form ahead of.
We've said that all season.
Yeah, I know, but now this is a crunch game, so that's why I do it. All right, I'm not against that team. Apart from Saka. Maybe.
I think why not? Why not give Matt Ryan some minutes?
Maybe play. Yeah, no, I'll play Ryan. I'm not against that.
Yeah.
I'm saying Saka.
Yeah.
To me,
I get it. But
Saka's
you get
coming
my
back off of injury.
it. You get my reasoning behind that because of the left back.
Now your team for Slavia Prague on Thursday, the biggest game of the season.
Boy.
Goalkeeper.
Leno will come back in.
With me, I'd play Ryan on Sunday, and if he has a great game, Leno don't come back in.
That's fair enough.
I think Leno's been very poor for quite a while now.
Yeah.
Right?
If we're going based off, we don't know what's happening Sunday.
Yeah.
Right. So,
but we're going off of what we're playing, what we're doing.
Well,
right?
I'm going to keep Leno in there. I will keep him in there. Jeez, man. I'm going to play Cedric there.
Right. Centre backs.
probably Holding and Gabriel. I don't think Holding played bad in the game the other night.
Right. Left back.
Saka. I don't want Cedric at left back anymore, man. It unbalances.
We saying
things.
Partey and Xhaka in midfield.
Xhaka.
Then the three in front.
Pepe.
Yep.
Smith Rowe.
Mm-hmm.
Or Odegaard.
Yeah.
It's based on where I don't think Odegaard's going to be fit, judging by what's being said. So I say Smith Rowe. And then I would have Martinelli and Aubameyang.
Okay.
So, but I do feel that if Odegaard is fit, then Odegaard will probably play in the 10 and maybe Smith Rowe on the left and Aubameyang up front. But this is based on Odegaard not playing. So,
yeah. So Martinelli back in there for you. You're going, and I ain't arguing with that. Martinelli I'll play Martinelli on Sunday from the start because we want to see. He needs a run of games. He needs like. You know, he's just been getting a little 5 minute. If he doesn't play Martinelli on Sunday, then I'm asking what's wrong.
Yeah,
what is wrong?
You're playing the team at the bottom of the league. They're already planning for next season. The manager's gone. It's like
I think out of all those ones you selected, right? In particular, when I look on it, I'll play Ryan. You know, Leno's not been on form. I'll play Ryan. Let's see what he can do on Sunday. I agree with you. Want to see Murray because he might be needed, you know. But yeah, I agree with that. Pepe's got to start. I want to see him get game time. Aubameyang got to try and play him back into form.
Yeah.
And Martinelli, if Martinelli goes out on Sunday, has a great game. I mean, that's going to be a dead game. To excite me, I want to see Martinelli in the team.
Yeah.
If he doesn't pick Martinelli on Sunday, then I'm like, there's a problem.
Yeah.
There's a problem that he don't rate Martinelli then. You don't rate him if he don't, because I'm seriously wondering. Anyway, it's been pretty depressing, right? It can change. It can change if we beat Slavia Prague next week, should I say? We're back into we're into the semi-finals of the Europa League with a chance of going to the final. And a chance of getting into the Champions League again.
And then the possibility of meeting Unai Emery.
Yeah, possibility of meeting Unai Emery in the semi-finals and possibly Oli. It looks like it's going to be either Roma or Manchester United in the finals. Even if you get to the final, it's no given.
No.
But then when you win trophies, there's no givens. You've got to come up against the very best.
Look how we won the trophy last year under Arteta.
Exactly.
Man City and Chelsea.
Exactly.
Now, let's be honest. Man City and Chelsea are more difficult than Slavia Prague or Villarreal.
Exactly.
Come on, man.
Exactly. So the metal's got to be shown by the players and the manager next week. If it's not shown, the season is over. What do you guys think? Let us know. Leave what you think, your comments on what we've been talking about. What do you think with Arteta? Do you think if he doesn't get through next week against Slavia Prague, would you keep him? If you would keep him, tell us the reasons why. If you wouldn't keep him, tell us the reasons why. Don't forget, you can download this podcast on all formats, as well as watching it here on YouTube. And don't forget, Profit Accumulator. The link is in the description. If you would like to get involved with that, click on that. You can earn yourself some extra cash each month. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back next week.